Welcome back to the first game, the first match of the 2019 Trash Bowl. We are on the America server, and the game that we have is Aurora versus SiegeTank. We're spectating from the perspective of Aurora right now, and Aurora is, I want to say, a prohibitive favorite in this game.
Yeah. There is a slight technical error here where we won't be seeing the cards for a split second, and we have to rejoin the game.
Yes.
And in the prospect of doing so, inadvertently end up switching the perspective, but
we'll tell you.
Yeah.
But that's the case. So Aurora on his Tempo Rogue to start it off, and
so you can see in the animation that he attacked with a dagger, but the cards are frozen.
And SiegeTank is playing his Mech Paladin.
Yes.
Which is an interesting matchup for sure. Generally very aggro-heavy match, this one. But this game also, we're not live commenting. Usually we'll be live commenting, and this one we're not. But this one was played sort of intuitively. So now we can see Aurora on the top. We're spectating from the perspective of SiegeTank. Aurora has developed his handstand thug. He's looking pretty good so far. But he's starting to tempo out some plays here. Right? That does definitely make sense. I do like the Paladin. I do generally like the Paladin in this matchup because he has double consecrate in his hand.
Yeah. Also, the ability to produce the larger taunts with Bronze Gatekeeper and magnetizing on top of that. Then you have Hand of Protection to, well, protect it. There's definitely a lot in favor of the Paladin.
So Waggle Pig, very old school build there for Aurora.
While also including new cards like the Hooked Scimitar. So it's definitely not just the old build. There is some thought put into that for sure.
It does definitely make sense. Explodinator coming down.
More of an aggressive play, but of course there's right now not a huge difference on board, so
gonna greedily go with the cat there. Alright.
I mean, it does make sense.
See, if I'm Aurora here, I'm pushing everything. I'm playing Deadly Poison, I'm pushing everything. Does not play Deadly Poison?
Yeah, because of the trade. I mean,
and that was unfortunate. Obviously, he got too greedy there. He should have attacked maybe first with the thug, but you never know. 2 and 3 chance he stays alive or stays on the board, but he didn't. True Civil Champion is a big one. Definitely a big draw in this game. Seems very important. Consecration coming down. I'm expecting Skaterbot.
Yeah.
Take care of one minion.
Reasonably, you'd probably put it on one of the bombs. To get actually you could go either way.
You don't need to. You can magnetize it, but this way you get 2 damage to the face.
Yeah. I guess it depends a little bit on what you're exactly planning to achieve. But as long as you have one bomb left.
So Aurora is calculating at this point. He's calculating lethal. He's got 10 this turn. Leroy Jenkins on hand. It looks like he's gonna play the Leroy even. Yeah, there he is. So he's put him down to 4. A very, very aggressive start. But this runs into...
And has a 6 attack weapon.
This runs into Consec, but there is the weapon up, so...
And the True Server only heals for 2.
Does only heal for 2.
So...
Doesn't seem to be a way for SiegeTank to escape this one.
Nope.
And he's gonna take this loss because he doesn't have weapon stack and no way to heal himself. Eye for an Eye, unfortunately, cannot quite get enough.
Eye for Eye could actually get you a draw if it were enough damage.
Yeah.
Which is actually an interesting thought.
Not enough damage.
But, yeah, it's not happening.
So Aurora has to be thinking Noble Sacrifice, but it's not. So first game goes to Aurora with a clean win. Clean win with the Rogue over the Paladin. And we'll see what he's queuing up next year. I think Aurora is bringing a full aggro lineup. So he has the Token Druid, and he has the Murloc Shaman still available.
The Token Druid is banned.
No, the Druid is banned. The Druid is banned. He has the Mech Hunter and he has the Shaman available. Druid has been banned, and SiegeTank's
Did we mention in the beginning? Yeah.
SiegeTank's Hunter has also been banned, which is a mid-range Hunter.
Yes.
So that is out. He does, however, have the Control Warrior,
which seems to be the most favorable matchup against all of Aurora's decks.
I find it sort of questionable for Aurora not to ban the Warrior there, because it seems like that's a deck that's going to manhandle everything you bring.
That's what I would have definitely done. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I have done for my first matchup, because I'm actually bringing a very similar lineup to Aurora.
Yes. Okay, we see the Warrior.
The Warrior now happens, and on the other side,
so we see him voluntarily switching off of a losing deck,
which is fair enough.
Oh, that makes sense.
I mean, at the end of the day, you have to win with every deck, but no reason to lose 3 hands in a row with the Paladin.
Listen, if you're most confident in the warrior and you want to get a win in, you know your warrior can beat everything. Mech Hunter probably being the worst of the matchups, I want to say, out of Aurora's lineup.
Yeah, that...
With the Druid being banned away, I think both the Shaman and the Rogue would have a tougher time, at least from experience speaking. But
yeah, because they die to removal to board wipes more easily.
Running the weapons project, so very, very old school. But you just hero power and play it safe. Yeah, very well played. Very well played. You want to take the trades there. As a warrior, you want to just outlast them. You want to survive this game.
Yeah, also it's not even as much about the trade as it in this case is about the armor.
Yeah.
Because if you can get the 2 armor by just taking 1 damage on the rover, that's basically what you want.
Correct.
There's 2 weapons projects now.
And weapons project is a powerful card in this deck specifically.
It delays the game, which is what you want as the warrior, and it allows you to take stuff out, which is exactly what we see.
Yeah. So that removal damage is more valuable to the control deck in this case, especially along with the armor, than to the aggressive deck. Explodinator coming down. Warpath is on hand for SiegeTank, so you might already pull that out.
Yeah, you'd think that would be the optimal play.
Would be a
here.
sensible play there. War Gear is not in reach, and also somewhat of a dubious inclusion in the regular control warrior. Seems like he's not going to pull out the Warpath just yet. Going to go safe with the hero power.
I would have at least traded into the 3/2.
Probably. Yes.
I don't see the advantage because anything that stays on the board will hit you more than once likely. So you're taking more damage by keeping it alive than by trading.
Exactly.
But that's more of a minor misplay, and I can see the advantage of keeping Warpath.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it does make sense. You want your opponent to overcommit, but now you don't Warpath this turn. Now you hit and you play Weapons Project again.
See,
okay, sort of that's a misplay because you hit first and then you get a bigger weapon. Yeah. That is correct.
Because if you had played it after, he would have had 1 more durability on his weapon and would have still effectively taken 2 damage from the
slight slip up there. Let's see if it actually ends up going punished. By Aurora, who, by the way, Aurora is a great player. He is one of the early favorites to take the whole tournament on the American side.
And we see a really effective fireworks tech, 2 damage, 3 1/1s, full board. And now he's going to have to... This looks like a Warpath turn.
Now you have to grab Warpath. If you don't pull draw right now, you have to Warpath this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So we see Plague of Wrath.
Yeah, this is going to have to be Warpath.
All undamaged.
Not quite yet. On 7 you could Warpath and Plague of Wrath. But in this case, you're gonna have to go for it.
Now, oh yeah, right. Here's a thought, right? You can actually hit into the 4/2 now to kill the 1/1s that get summoned.
Yes.
Rather than doing it after the Warpath.
And he does find that. That was a very smart play. That was a good play by him. Yeah.
And leaves the board with 3 1/1s. Yeah. And 13 health, which is not necessarily where you want to be at.
That's not a lot. You see Spider Bomb, you see Snip Snap, potentially 2 Snip Snaps right now. There's War Gear also.
War Gear Spider Bomb is 7, plus 3 on the board, plus 2 on hand, is in fact
getting
1 off.
It's getting close. So he's getting into some trouble, is SiegeTank right now.
And as opposed to other matchups, of course, here you don't have the hero power clock because of the other hero power. But at this point, what are you going to do?
He chooses death, and that's 2-0 to Aurora. We'll see what deck SiegeTank chooses now, because he knows that Aurora has to play his Shaman to end up winning this game. So if I'm Siege, I'm going back to Warrior in this case.
Yeah, I would too.
I'm going back to Warrior because I know that's my best deck against the Shaman that he's going to be playing. And I think I just have to stabilize. I have to get a win and find myself, and I pick. I play in whatever order is favored most against this Shaman because I want to draw it close first. You got to be thinking 1 game at a time now because you can't lose 1. All right, let's see if Siege can kind of catch himself here.
So yeah, we're rejoining the expectation this time around.
We are on Aurora's side.
Unfortunately, we're switching around again.
We're on Aurora's side, and Siege is smartly keeping his faith in Warrior.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing him with a handful of removal. I think Dynomatic is very much a keep in this game.
Dynomatic is really strong.
Dynomatic is a very strong turn.
As is Warpath, Brawl.
He decided to keep Brawl, and he gets punished a little bit by drawing 2nd Brawl. But he does still have the Dynomatic, so that is at least something.
I think he ditched the Dynomatic and got another one.
He did, yeah, and he got another one, which is lucky for him. It's a better card than the Brawl, I think.
I would probably kept
Warpath
the
also drawn, so he has a full hand of removal still. And if I'm a Siege, I'm even playing Omega Assembly there.
Yeah, because you don't expect to necessarily go till turn 10 against an aggressive deck.
You don't need the value. You need the survival.
I was about to say you'd rather have something that helps you right now.
Exactly. I'd rather just take a Mekaru and play it. Yeah,
because that allows you to trade. I'd probably prefer something like a Bronze Gatekeeper or something along those lines, like high health.
So early War Leader by Aurora, quick decisions being made. He has Flesh Shaper in his deck, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, also mulligan away the War Leader for the more consistent curve, but then lucked into drawing him again when you needed them. So right away. I don't disagree with mulligan him away.
No, it doesn't make sense. It definitely doesn't make sense.
It still was a good draw, though.
So he's gonna just armor and he's going to end up shield slamming. But what do you shield slam? They're kind of all awkward, right? The healing totem doesn't do much, Warrior doesn't die, and Murray just comes back.
I mean, Murray kind of makes sense if you're playing to Warpath in the near future. You definitely... I mean, I guess Murray dies anyways if you go to the Warpath.
See, I want to set up Dynomatic next turn, so if I shield slam, I slam the War Leader there.
Yeah, that does make a little bit of sense.
Tasty Fin coming down for good reload.
Yeah, and this is already being a little wide for Dynomatic to reliably do much.
Yeah, that is true. So do you coin Brawl, though? Do you coin Brawl and really hope for one of the two sort of high rolls?
No, I think you go Dynomatic and hope for some good trades once Dynomatic comes down.
I think that's what you do. Doesn't make sense. You right now you can't take that much more. The War Leader does survive.
Very unfortunate because the healing totem is gonna undo most of this.
Yes, and there's a second War Leader, and that is very huge. That is absolutely huge, and that's a lot of damage coming facewards.
Yep.
That is a lot of damage going right to the noggin there. So,
there's a free mobile Flesh Shaper.
Very, very bad drawing. Very unlucky play for Siege for sure. We saw him make a small mistake in the previous game. This one he just got. Well, Aurora had the perfect draws on basically turns 2 through 5.
Disagree a little bit with SiegeTank's mulligan, but otherwise.
Yeah, the mulligan wasn't great. He's not going to Warpath to clear the board, except for the Flesh Shaper. It's going to survive.
He has to, otherwise he dies.
He actually plays more like a Raider.
Makes sense because you want to be able to take trades.
Yeah, I think so.
But then there's Leroy.
There's Mutate and there's Leroy, and that's just a G. Dubs for Aurora. Pretty clean
Mutate's
performance.
Just for the sake of it.
Why not? Captain Hooktusk showing. First time I've ever seen Captain Hooktusk in competitive play, and yes, that is a shot at the critics. Thank you for watching this, though. Aurora advancing pretty cleanly into the next round, and hopefully we're going to see more of this. That was a good game. Congratulations to Aurora, and also well played to SiegeTank. I think it was a good experience for him, and we'll have more matches coming up soon, so until then, JJ.
That's it.
That's it.